Alright, and we are back, chat. The next one will be a tank review, I believe. Playing Rothog, Miserlin, lobby is 2900, so about the same rank. RGM, playing Rothog on Havana. Let's just, we import the game.
Traveling to Havana. Ready for
Watching RGM, who's gonna be playing Rothog here, I believe. RGM. You said. I sent a couple walls a while back for Reinhardt Winston. I tend to be a flex player, and recently, after coming back from a break, I've been playing with a friend who plays mostly Reinhardt, so I've been off-tanking. Mostly on Hog and Zarya. In this game, everyone was in team chat coming, thought we won. I feel like I did not play up to par and wanted to see how far I can improve on Rothog. It's a long game, so feel free to only look at some portions. We'll go as much as we can at least. Alright. So the big thing with Rothog is off angles. If you wanted to brawl with your Reinhardt, you'd probably want the Zarya. But since you have no actual defensive abilities for your Reinhardt, you probably just want to try to take an off angle and get picks. Rothog is a hero that wants to focus on getting picks. Surprising the enemy, getting a good hook, and using your one hit kill potential to just guarantee those picks. That's a trap, don't fall for the trap. Okay, careful with the sniper, you can self-heal. The thing with the self-heal is that I don't want to say you should be using it as often as possible, but the big thing with Rothog, like I said earlier, is that you should not require support from your team. So if you think you're in a position where you'll have it back, it is only an 8 single cooldown. If you think you're in a position where you'll have it back when you need it, you can use it to top yourself off, and I would use it here to top myself off, because like your team is nowhere ready to go yet. Are you just gonna run into the enemy team 1v6? Probably not. The idea is just play like around here, do some spam damage, and heal up now, so that you have full health when the actual fight happens. Because yeah, you get a hook, but this is not giving you any value, right? Like, what are you trying to do? Go 1v6, 1v5 because the Widow's over here? The idea, the best way of playing Rothog to get picks is wait for the enemy to be distracted. So when your tanks push forward, like your Vine pushes forward, your McCree, your Jangrat, the enemy tanks get distracted, right? Because they have to counter your tanks. Then you go for someone of the, squishier on the backline. Because right now what you've done is you got no value. You've been forced out of your ultimates. You've used both of your cooldowns, and you just gave them free ult charge. That's basically free value for them. Be careful with the trap in front of you. Again, you should not be doing this. Like, playing on main is not good for Rothog, because it's just a lot more difficult to get a hook of, right? Like, they have a Sigma Rein. Sigma has defensive abilities, you do not. Sigma has range, you do not. Your best advantage in basically any comp is the fact that you can go for an off angle and get a hook. You can play main on like the Hog Sigma, Hog Zarya comps, where you basically play Hog as kind of like a main tank, but still not really a main tank. Sigma Hog is just really good as well, but you know, the general idea is just go for the flanks. Go for the flank, get a hook. Because right now you're not really giving your front line a lot of health. Like, and this is better, but your team is really, again, like, you're pushing forward, but your team is just backing off because you lost 3 people. Your Ryan just suicided, but that's not on you. don't take this fight. Like, the biggest thing I can tell you is that you're going at really, really wrong times. Don't take this fight versus 5 people. Wait for your team to be at least going forward at the same time as you are. What value do you think you can get against Ryan Sigma shields, Bab Moira healing, and whatever else they go, Jagrat is there with. Jagrat is one. The DPS with them? Yeah. You're just giving them a free ult charge. You're letting them shoot at you. This is better. Use cover. Wait for your team. Your Ryan is here, so just try to take a snuff angle and get a hook. Not a great hook. Again, like, this is a sleight of angle, but it's still not, like, you should be playing here. With cover, with surprise elements, right? Where you can make some rotations, try to get value. The big thing with Rothog is that he's very easy to punish if you got multiple people focusing him. Like, Ana Sen can kill a Rothog. Jangrat Ana can kill a Rothog. Sen Rothog can kill a Rothog very easily. But the problem is that when you're doing this, and they can all shoot at you very easily, you're very easy to punish. When you're going for this angle, right, or with playing with cover, which makes you harder to punish, trying to get into their backline or trying to punish a DPS for their bad positioning, then if they try to contest you with 2 people, your team gets an advantage on that fight. And if they ignore you, you just get a free pick. So what I'm saying is, stop going for the tanks. You are going for the tanks. You are going for the Rhine. You are going for the front line. Forget about the Rhine. Get someone else, and you're basically just playing. You're kind of playing like Zarya, I guess. You're trying to focus down their tanks, trying to get value into them. But Rothog doesn't play like Zarya. Rothog plays very differently. He wants to get around the enemy to get into the backline. You want to get around the enemy front line to get into the backline, right? Like I said earlier. Let their tanks get distracted with your team so you can go around their shields and get a hook. Around the shields and get a hook. Because hitting those hooks is the most important part, and you have not hit a single good hook yet. You've hooked the Sigma, but Sigma is not a good hook. You want to be hooking anyone else. That's not the time. So you can use that one-shot potential. Now you kill the Jangrat. Good job. That's solid. That's what I want you to do. Like, that's exactly what you should be doing. Their Vine is looking forward. Their Sigma put the shield up. You just do this, flank them and kill the Jangrat. And you did your job. And that's it. It's literally that simple. And now you just get out, play here for a second, make sure you're fine, and then get back in. Instead you commit right away, you press Q, and you try to, I assume, get the Rhine. But because you're basically in the middle of the enemy team, I was gonna say the Sigma can probably just suck you. He just rocks you and stops you out of your ultimate. So this is why you shouldn't be in the middle of the enemy team. This is good. Flank, kill, out. Wait a second, reset, flank, kill, out. Good kill, but it's like, yeah, big shatter from... Actually, not a big shatter from them. He misses everything. Basically, you're playing Sigma wrong. You're playing Rothog wrong. You're playing Rothog very frontline focus, very... I'm gonna kill the tanks. I'm gonna help my Reinhardt. But Rothog is not a hero that helps Reinhardt. Rothog is a hero that usually goes best with Sigma because Sigma can hold main a lot easier than Reinhardt. He's a much soloer tank. So you usually want to be like Sigma, Rothog, or Rhine, Rothog. But Rhine alone is not that good. Still, don't play like on the same angle that your Rhine is playing and their Rhine is playing, because that's just not gonna get you value. Instead, go for an off angle. Go for the hook behind the tanks for the squishies. Don't play where the entire enemy team can see you. Try to play with cover and go for the hooks. Go for the kills. Pressure the backline. You don't have to get kills. You can just right click. Even if this is too far away, but let's just say you were here trying to get value by right clicking the backline, that will be okay. Because at the very least, if they want to deal with you, they have to look away from the front line. And that's the general idea. You want them to have to look in a different way than your Rhine to deal with you, or just not look at you and you get a free kill. Or several free kills if you're good enough. You missed the hook. Again, your hooks haven't been great, like your actual hook mechanics. Kind of feels like you're just throwing them out there to try to get value, more than actually aiming them. Good kill. Should be a 5-1 at least. Careful with the trap. I think you just barely dodged the trap. I don't know if you knew that it was there. You actually jumped over it. Oh, you knew it was there. Look at that. Now you pressure the Rhine. Like, when it comes to melee 1v1s, you can 1v1 a Rhine. I'm okay with that. It's not like Rhine has enough pressure to kill you. Just that you don't usually want to be trying to get the Rhine, because if you just walk at the Rhine, the entire enemy team can see you and focus you down. So you can win a 1v1 versus Reinhardt. The problem becomes that you cannot win a 1v1, a 2v2 against Reinhardt at Sigma, because Sigma just counters it. Or Zarya, or Diva, they just give their Rhine a lot more value than you do your Rhine. Should be a free fight win, at least, yeah. Okay, so again, you're pushing forward, I'm okay with it, but there's always buts. You have to be in a position to get out if they pressure you, because your team is not with you, and your team is all the way over back there. So don't play by yourself. Roadhog plays solo with the team. Which means that your positioning should be by yourself, because Roadhog doesn't need the team to be with him, but you should be applying pressure at the same time as your team. And applying pressure doesn't mean your Rhine needs to be in their faces, but your Rhine can just be holding this, right? Or let's make a better example actually. Let's say your Rhine is holding this, right? Your Rhine is trying to push forward this way. Their Rhine is playing defensive here. You doing this, even though your Rhine is not going forward, the Rhines is just staring at each other, is forcing the enemy to look at you, because you can get a lot of value. So if the enemy tries to pressure you, then your Rhine can go in, because people will be drawn away towards you and leave their Rhine weaker, right? If people chase you, then this becomes weaker and your Rhine can take the advantage. Whereas if they don't pressure you, and the one thing, don't just stay here, because if you stay here and they are pressuring you, you will just die without, never really getting help from your team. But then you just pay them in what they cannot help their team, and your Rhine just gets the advantage. It's basically an idea of, you don't have to be with your Reinhardt, right? You can take a different position, but you should be acting at a time and adding pressure where the enemy will not be able to punish you without sacrificing something. Heal, but just why did you not heal? You had your heal, you were being shot by a Junkrat, just heal and get out. That's definitely on you, just heal. I'll run into one. And again, from this angle, you're just not going to get a ton of value. Unless you get like a very lucky hook. That's not a very lucky hook. And now it's just a fight. Because again, they just have more pressure on your Rhine than you do on theirs. They also have like a lot of damage, and you are wasting your hooks. I don't think you've hit one good hook yet, which is very unfortunate. You got the one with Junkrat, but it wasn't a great hook, more than just a good flank. And the hook was just like, he was not moving and not paying attention to you. I don't like this. You make it some value, but it's literally like, you do get some value, you kill the Rhine, but it's basically you are surrounded by the enemy. So you're probably not gonna kill anyone, like your team is coming back. You got you and Dana versus 3 people, but their spawn is also closer. So even though you kill the Rhine, and you can push forward a little bit, it's going to be very difficult to get a lot of value out of this. That's a decent hook, but you don't get the kill, which is unfortunate. Had you confirmed the skill, maybe it would have been pretty good. You missed the hook. Practice your hooks. Like, your hook mechanics are pretty bad. You should be able to hit your hooks like at least 50% of the time. And I mean hooks on moving people when you go for flanks. Your hooks have just not been very good. I can't give you more advice on how to hit your hooks than practice them. I can tell you, hold on, how far in that work? 4 minutes? Okay. I can tell you that there is a small window after you press button where you can still aim the hook, and that may be fucking you up. Like, when you press the button, you can be looking at something, but then just move the aim anyway. So it's not like you have to, maybe you're like holding your aim at there and pressing the button and being like, okay, yeah, I got them. Right? But then you just move your hook after you got them, because you're like, oh, I got them, press the hook, then look away to try to pull them closer to me, and you're missing because of it. I don't know why. I'm just telling you that, yeah, you can still aim the hook a second after you press the hooking button, which is, you know, left shift or whatever it is in console, but you can change it after you press the button. So maybe you're pressing the button and being like, okay, I got them, and looking away, or maybe not chasing them with the, like, maybe they move away, right? And you're not taking that into account. So let's say that the bot is just moving that way, like over there. So you're just like, oh, rather than chasing with the hook, you're just shooting at where he is right now. And you, with the other side, oh, and little trick, you can look away to pull them closer to your team, rather than being in front of you. Like, I'll show this again. Like, rather than just being in front of you, like they would be when you pull like this, normally, you can pull them to the side to pull them closer to your team. Like, just pull them to the side. You see, instead of being there, they're now here, which is further away. Anywho, the big thing I wanted to show was that after you press the button, there is still a small time for corrections. Now, let's go back to the actual game.
Traveling to Havana, ready for battle.
We are 4 minutes in. Right. So at this point, I'm just like, probably, again, it's just a very weird fight where you did not wait for your McCree to be back. Your Ryan is dead, they got a bunch of people. It may be winnable, but I'm like, question marks. You kinda go in. I don't love this. Yeah, and without your Ryan, it's probably a lost fight. Now you have no healing. Yeah. We C9 them though, like, really good from your Junkrat. They all chased you and your Junkrat got the point. So if you were planning for them to chase you and forget the point, it worked out. But I don't think you're planning that. I think you just got lucky that your Junkrat is pushing points. Good hook. Like, that's actually a pretty decent one. And Roadhog is actually really bad for this third point, because there are not many great flanks you can take. There are some, but if you want to go for this one, it's just very long. You're out of the fight for a very long time. This is the best you can do. Maybe this, but it's not great, because people know that if you're not in front, you're basically there or there. So, just not a great point for Roadhog. Also, you're standing in the open right now. Again, remember what I said about your team? Like, your team is all the way back there. You're basically by yourself. Which just means the enemy can just focus you down and kill you, which is what they do. Roadhog is really way at drawing people away from their team, so your team can get value. Or, as they're distracted with your team, you get value into their team by just hooking them and killing someone. The biggest thing I want you to stop doing is stop playing on main. Sometimes you can do it, and again, it depends on the team and the circumstances. Maybe you're playing with your team because they have like a monkey ball. So you're like, well, yeah, I'm gonna play with my team because the monkey ball are gonna dive in and I can try to hook and punish them, right? That's okay. But into like Broly comps or teams that play with any ranged non-dive comps, you probably don't want to be on main. You can probably ult this. I would have ulted the Rhine away, but at this point it's just lost. They used 3 ultimates, just give them the free fight when they lost someone. They're playing with 5 now, wow. Like, good kills, but at this point they lost one, so it's like, you were already up, and their Moira is very far away, their Rhine is too far forward. We are using ultimates to counter, it's decent. And again, that's a decent hook. It's not a great hook, he was in front of you. It's basically what I would expect. Heal up, that's solid. Don't show yourself. While you're healing up, you cannot do anything, so just stay in cover and then go out. You missed that hook. Good right clicks. Like, your aim is not, like, your actual aim is not bad. Your actual aim is okay, your hooks are just not good. We should win this stuff. Heal up. Looks like a free fight win at least. Use your ultimate to keep them off point. Yeah, okay. Do they get their person back? Because at this point it's like, yeah, Rodok is a really good pick when they are down as a hero every fight. How is this even close? Do they get their person? Hold on. Okay, they do get the person back at some point. It's on 5? Oh, it is on 5. So while they are one person down, you guys just win. Rodok, like I said earlier, Rodok is very easy to punish if you got enough people shooting at him. Like, usually 2 characters are enough to deal with Rodok. Usually if you have like an Ana or a McCree or a Sen, any of these, or a Sigma, any of these plus 1 will counter hug very easily and you can just punch and kill them. But when they are down a person already, your presence means that if they have to invest 2 people's worth of resources into you, then basically leaves them 3v5 forever. Well, yeah, 3v5. Because they have 2 people focusing you. And this is basically unwinnable. The 4v5 is not that it's unwinnable, but they just force you out, and then these 2 can help the team, and you cannot help your team while you heal up. So it's like, at that point, they can pressure you out, and they got counterplay. But with this many, again, going for the tanks, not great. They have ways of locking it. But I'm just gonna guess that your team is just gonna win until they get their 6th person back, which is now. So we'll skip that. Hocus picked. And you're playing main, which again, I hate that you're playing main. Oh, the Widow just killed 3 people anyway. So it's not even that someone came back. The Widow just killed 3 people. You are playing main, again, big mistake. You should not be playing main. Main being this. You should be playing this. Because again, from all the way back here, or from this cover, you can try to spam them out. Right click, right. And when they come forward to try to do with your team, you go for the hook and kill someone. Good kill from your Hanzo, decent hook. Not the best, but the Rhine was by himself, so again, hooking a Rhine that's by himself and charging, it's very decent. Mostly because while he's charging, he can't shield your hook, so... But this is not good. Your Rhine's just gonna shatter them though, yeah. So, looks like another... Even though their Widow got 3 kills, looks like another fight we can win. Good hook, you kill the Widow. We use Transcendence, and we just win this. You ult, we all ult, we use several ults, we end up using 4 really good ultimates this fight, and you end up using 4 really decent ultimates this fight. Mercy, maybe no. But too long don't really win the fight. And again, I do really like this, but look where your team is. If you hook someone, Sarah's gonna bubble them, you're not gonna get a kill, then you got to go all the way back to your team. They don't have a Lucio, so they cannot chase you, at least that's solid. But yeah, you're just going at very odd times where your team cannot get value from you pressuring the enemy. Like, you can't kill this Genji. You're waiting. You try to kill the Ashe, who's just 1 HP. You kill the Ashe. I don't know why she wasn't getting healed. But it's like... Their tanks are not distracted enough. You're getting value because the Ashe was 1 HP. But if the Ashe had been on decent HP, she would not have died to that right click with very far range. So you force the rest out. We just killed people, and you're just not getting value. You can see how you're not really getting a ton of value with this hook. Like, this is solid, but at this point their tanks are just dead. Practice your hook into kills. Because you are missing a few of those. Like, after you hit a hook, you need to one-shot them. Just right-click their heads and melee. There is, for some heroes, you can take a step forward to put your crosser right into their neck to guarantee the kill. For some heroes, you cannot, like, Genji will have a small window to deflect. Reaper will have a small window to wraith. Against heroes like Trace, you can just recall. Against heroes that can just get out, you just aim for the neck and shoot right away. Even though it may not guarantee the kill because they will deflect the melee. Or they will have a window, right? You might get the kill anyway. But they have a small window where they can do that if you take a step forward. Mercy, without anyone to guard the angel tube? No, just aim for the head, take a step forward and kill them. And like, this is really good. I like this now where the Rhine is pushing into your Rhine, the enemy team is not looking at you. Even though they know you're here, they just forgot. Object permanency is not a thing at lower ranks. So this is really good. And now you kill this Mercy. Good job, kill the Mercy, nice. That's really good. That's basically what I want you to do. Like, we are losing the fight anyway. Which is not really your fault. They just got kills on the backline. One thing you should do is, when you get a kill, you can stay on the backline and pressure them until they chase you out. Because they didn't chase you out. Like, you get a kill, the Ashe is looking at you, but it's just Ashe. You can heal and walk at the Ashe. If you really want to stay pressuring the Ashe. Because that just lets them turn around and get back into the fight. So you got 1 kill, but the fight is still 5v5 because you are out of the fight. If you keep the Ashe occupied by healing, walking to the Ashe, your team can push in and kill them. What happened here? Your Rhine just forgets about the Rhine because we shattered the Baptiste? Their Baptiste gets bubbled, I think. No. Your Rhine is suiciding. You said you're playing with your Reinhardt? Tell him he's a suicidal maniac. Stop charging right so far away from your team. Like, this range should be dead. Good hook. That's what I mean when I say that if you take a step forward, maybe they have a small window to deflect. He should be dead anyway, yeah.
30 seconds remaining.
Good hook. Again, you don't get the immediate kill, which is very unfortunate. You should try to go for the, like, you should learn the one-hit knockout, like the one-hit KO on, you know, any hero that doesn't have the ability to just immediately get invincible. Are you going for a flank ultimate? This is not a good flank ultimate. It sounds an area in front of you. I think you're just gonna... Okay. You didn't have to drop to try to kill the Mercy. You could have tried to hook the Mercy from up here. Don't give up your good position. You pop your ultimate. Sorry. You pop your ultimate. I feel like at this point it's just a little too late. Yeah. So one of the big things is that you are really going at the wrong times. On the attack, you were going too early. On the defense, you're just going too late. Remember, you want to play with your team. Overwatch is still a team game. You are just not playing with your team a lot. Now, let's continue.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Alright, you're coming back because you died. Yeah, that makes sense. Spam the enemy, spam the enemy. Good dragon from your Hansa. You're trying to hook the Genji again. Like, you just kinda aim at the Genji and don't compensate from the movement. Maybe a winnable fight. We got a break now for the Genji. Don't try to hook someone with an immunity ability. But you're still kind of frontlining and you're still kind of, like, not quite by yourself. But because the respawn is so much closer, you should be just backing out and waiting for your team. Yeah. And this is not totally your fault, but mostly your fault. Really good kill from your Reinhardt, but this should be a lost fight, yeah. Again, you're still just playing main and trying to hook the tanks, which is not ideal. Yeah, I'm glossing over a few things because I've said them before, but it's mostly just you're not playing Roadhog very well. Like, your hooks are not good. You need to practice your hooks, but mostly also you are playing on main a lot, which is not something you should be doing. I've already explained that. And your timing is way off. You are going too early or too late, and they just kill your team before you have a chance to actually get value, or they kill you before your team has a chance to catch up. Good kill, it's just clean up at this point though. At this point, yeah, it's just clean up. Stop playing main, by the way. Like, again, you have a Reinhardt to play main.
60 seconds remaining.
This is okay. You tried to go for a hook on the backline, I like it. You don't get it, unfortunate. Again, your hook mechanics need some work. But the idea is right, I think. Don't use your ultimate here because they got a ton of way of stopping you. Not a ton actually, but like they can just focus you down. They can deflect it. They can just drop. It's a one fight already anyway. We get a couple kills. Looks like it could be a... If you want to use it here, I will be okay, but you need to heal into it because you're very low on HP. They blade, so you deflect. That's fine. Like, this is okay. Just once you bait the deflect out, aim at the floor. Like, the idea of I use this to prevent the blade is solid, but stop aiming at the Genji. Just aim at the ground instead, so you don't get deflected. It's a way of fight though. Like, now we're fighting on our side of this point, which means we got the spawn advantage, and we are using rally. But it doesn't here, right? Yeah, it doesn't. Lost fight, just down the payload, like 3 people down, they've got no one down, just down the payload. You're staggering yourself, just down the payload. We use blade. You get rest. This may actually be winnable at this point still, but you should have died on the payload to stall the payload. And maybe it makes it easier for the Mercy to rest as well, because the Mercy died after resting you. But this is actually winnable. Heal, heal, heal. Okay, decent heal. Not winnable anymore, but they use grab blade for, you know, the pleasure of taking this point. And shatter, which was unnecessary as fuck. Again, the biggest things I can tell you is stop playing main, think about your team. Oh, and practice your hooks, but no. That's more mechanics. I cannot fix your mechanics. I can fix the problems of telling you, hey, stop going with your van because that's not gonna get you value. This is okay. Right? The idea of trying to hook someone off the map, solid. You're a little bit too far away, but like they are looking at your vine this way, you try to get value this way. That's a good idea. Just you need to work on your mechanics a little bit, but it's fine. Looks like they actually managed to take this. Good hook. Not the best because tanks usually have a way of saving themselves. Like Sigma has the grasp, Saria has bubbles. So if you're going to go for a tank, make sure that they don't have those. And if it's a tank with a shield, just don't go for them because no. There are times and times. Like if the Rhine is charging, you can get the Rhine. But otherwise, don't go for the Rhine. If the Saria has no bubble and she's away from the Rhine shield, you can get the Saria. But if she has the bubble, don't go for the Saria. If the Sigma is using the grasp, go for the Sigma. Otherwise, it's probably going to get shielded. D.Va is actually a decent target always. Because D.Va can prevent you from doing damage at everyone else, but herself. Because if you hook someone else, she just defense matrix. But she can't defense matrix herself for that one shot. So D.Va is always a decent target. You have to know though that you will not kill the D.Va unless she's very low, or you got like a ton of help. Monkeys are really good target, but you have to make sure that he's... Actually, if Monkey or Ball are close enough to you that you can hook them, that's probably their mistake. They should be playing with cover, then go in. Bubble, right? For Monkey. Pal right for the Wrecking Ball. But yeah. Monkey and Ball are probably the ones that you always want to hook if you can. And Roadhog, you have to wait until he shoots the heal, or the hook, or both. Ideally the heal though. Again, at this point I'm just like, you're trying to get value on the right angle, but probably not on the tanks. You should be trying to get, like, yeah, their tanks are distracted, go for someone else. And now I know this is too far, but you could either drop and try to go for it, or just, like, what are you... I know you're trying to hook them off the map, but they can just get bubbled, shielded. They have help, you are down a person already. That Genji's 1 HP, that Mercy would have been very killable. That Rhine is very killable too. You get window, heal, 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 okay. Don't ult, you're very low on HP. Yeah, you just... What happened to your team? Like you ran that at some point, right? Yeah. While you're just trying to run away, your Rhine just dies. Because again, you have long periods where you're just doing nothing and you're just trying to get value at the wrong time. Yeah, the Rhine actually goes behind you. Like, while you're doing this, there's a fight happening behind you that you could have been helping with. Because again, even though you're not as good as Saria, you can at least help your Rhine. Just kind of feels like you're playing by yourself a lot of the time and ignoring your team. Just don't ignore your team and you'll be doing better. And they just fuck up this, right? You go Wrecking Ball to try to stall, but you get killed, they have ultimates and they win. Again, playing main, not the best idea. Like, either let them push. Like, I would be playing either trying to get for this again, because this is really good. Like, they're all looking, if I do this, they're all looking that way, so this is basically a free kill. Or you could be playing here and waiting for them to push forward to hook them away. But this is just not too good. It's not terrible, like at least we're putting some pressure on the enemy, but your right click at this range are not good enough to compete with Sigma's extra shield, left click damage at range, right? Just not good enough. And now you're going for this. No, you're not. I would heal so that your supporters can focus on the Rhine and the other ones. Good hook. Really good hook, actually. Ignore the tanks, go for the backline. That's pretty solid. Now you can try to help your Rhine a little bit, but that's a really good one. Why did you not heal earlier when you were at like 300 HP instead of now when you're at 450? And like both of your supporters are healing you at the same time. Anywho, you could hook the Rhine. You missed the hook, which is unfortunate. I feel like you should, if you want to get better with Rothog, just go into practice mode for the hook. That will help a lot. Because your hook mechanics definitely need some help. You're trying to spam the Ashe because she's over there, but it's not really on you. It's a very difficult one to get. Like I said earlier, at this point you're basically by yourself. Sorry, I've been a little sick and it's making me very tired. It's not COVID, it's just like a normal sickness. Like, by yourself a very long time. The way you deal with this, so you don't get staggered, is when your team is losing the fight, you just go die on the payload. Because it forces them to kill you early, you respawn with your team, and it stops the payload, so it could be like over here now. If you had died on it, right? Giving your team this extra time as well. A very lucky hook. Mercy basically flew into your hook line. Good hook on the Sigma. You get pain, but it's okay. You can just ult. Okay, solid. Yeah. Two, three, four. So again, it's not like your hook is terrible, but you could be getting so much more value. Like your hooks definitely need practice with your hooks, but also again try to go for the off angles, not just play on main. And your healing, you should use it more often so that your healers can focus on someone else, because Rothog should need like on the list of tanks that need healing. It's like if I make a list of tanks that need healing, be like Rhine on the very top, then Monkey, then Orisa, then probably Zarya. Actually, let's put Zarya and Orisa at the same level. I think Zarya actually requires more healing than Orisa, so let's do it like this. Then probably Diva. Sigma. Hog. And Ball. Right? This is how little healing Hog needs. Sigma needs a little bit more, but again, Sigma is basically not quite self-sustainable, but you only need like a Xenorv for Sigma, usually. So Sigma can survive very well. Rothog Rothog and Ball should be fine without any healing, because they got their own healing. Well, Ball has, the ability to just go get health packs. So it's like, you shouldn't be making your supports heal you unless it's like very safe. Instead, you just heal yourself like as often as you can, and that gives your supports time to heal other people. Right? That's such an idea. I really like this idea, but the few times you've gone for these ideas of I go for a hook behind the tanks, it's had really bad timing. Like, look what your team is. You may get a kill here, and if you do, that's really good. The problem is that they can just bubble the person you're hooking. Right? Or Sigma block it, or divide it, or heal them. Right? They can't invest, like you hooked the Genji. Good job. They can just invest resources into you because your team is not there to punish them for those resources. You get the kill anyway. What was the Zarya doing? She just wasted the bubble. She literally just wasted the bubble. So you get a kill, and again, this is the right thing to do. Just go for an off angle while they're focusing your team. It's just not very good timing for you. You still get a kill with it, which is pretty solid. The higher you go, the less value you'll get, and you have been punished and not getting value a ton this game alone with that. And this time you did get a pick, which is solid. But honestly, just spam them. Just stay here, spam them out. If they push you, your team can push you. Can push forward. And if they push you inside, you just keep baiting them. They don't have a Lucio to chase you anyway. Right? You can just play safe. The idea was very good, the timing was just off, and it still got value. So stop going for the tanks, go for the squishies, you can guarantee those 1 kill shots on. I like this, like you still miss the hook. But like, our Vine is forcing them back? You should have kept opening and play here. The idea of, well, my Vine is here, I need to open myself up is good, you just don't fully commit to it. You guys just, not right away, it doesn't look like you win this fight at least. Why do you go from, hey, I can push into their backline from, hey, I'm gonna push their Vine's area. And you get pressured out, and again, your Vine is suicidal. Please tell your Vine to stop this. Like, you told me you play with this Vine, that he's a friend of yours. This is losing. He's feeding. He's inting, intentionally feeding. The fuck is that? Please. Tell him to stop charging into the enemy team. Because that literally just lost you guys the fight. You go for a kill and you get the kill, but at this point it's just a lost fight. Like, you're trying to distract them, but yeah, you're just not gonna survive for very long. Okay, you go for this again. Now, though, like, this is good because... Oh my god, my voice. This is good because it's a shorter rotation, but you can no longer get as much value from here because your Ryan is here as well. You need to go here, or you need to go here. Again, get around the Ryan and Zarya and into their backline. Like, this is solid. Not the best yet, because they're basically all looking this way anyway. Good block from your Ryan. You need better hook accuracy, we've said that before. We kill the Ryan, and you've honestly done nothing this fight. Like, a lot of these fights, I feel like you're just doing nothing. Because you're just trying to pressure the tanks, trying to pressure the Rhine. And that's not what you should be doing. Like, your damage is not enough to melt a shield. If you were doing that, you should be playing Zarya. Maybe Sigma to add another shield, add the grasp, add the range damage. This is what separates you from the other tanks. The ability to get one-shot kills. One-shot kills. So to enable that, go around them, get the picks, and kill people. Use your ultimate. Just use it. I would have used the ultimate to guarantee the kill of the Zarya. Just push her back here, kill the Zarya. Then you're guaranteed to be up on the front line next fight. Instead, you just kinda use it on the point, which is not bad. But you don't get a ton of value from that one either. And we just win this, right? We just clean up and win? Okay. So the big things are definitely. Hold on, let me see if I can find a good example of it. Oh, this is where you rhyme fed. So here, this looks like a good example of it. When you kill the Genji, right? Yeah, this is a good example of it. Now would be a great time to push. Which angle would you take? Like, let's go all the way back here. Which do you think would be the best angle? This is pretty solid actually, because the Rhine is going to be focused here when your Rhine pushes forward. Like, you can see that your whole team is looking this way. Their whole team is looking this way. And you're free to get value. Right? Whereas the teams are going to be fighting over this corner. You can go in while everyone is looking this way, like literally everyone is looking that way. You can just be like, oh, a free Sen kill. I kill a Sen. Free Ash, free Moira. Maybe Zarya if Zarya doesn't have any bubbles, right? And that's how you really want to play this. Like, while the tanks are engaging, you can threaten this angle a lot, and if they give you the opportunity, you go for the hook, you kill something. Don't just play here. And you did it right this time, you just went very early. You still got the Genji pick, which was very solid. But that's what I want to see. Stop playing literally on top of your Rhine. Stop playing into the Reinhardt. Because this is not what you want to do, and you were doing that very often. What you did here is what you want to be doing. Just while their team is looking at my team, I go for this flank and I kill them. And if they are holding this corner, like, do they go back to the corner? At this point, playing here will no longer get through the Reinhardt, because now the Rhine will shield here. Right? It's kind of like the same angle. So you need to push further up or push further up. Right? Like you did with the Junkrat on the very first one, where you just went this way and got into the back line. That's the general idea of why Roadhog is so good. And again, on some metas, on like Sigma Hog or Zarya Hog especially, or Ball Hog, Hog can play on main, but it's definitely not when you have a Rhine or a Orisa, probably a Sigma either, like Sigma is better on main as well. But they can change places, like maybe Sigma Sen can go on the flank and Hog can hold main. You know, it's more interchangeable at least on that point. But when you're playing like Rhine Hog, absolutely, or Orisa Hog, you want to be playing with cover. Orisa Hog, maybe, depending on what the enemy have, you can go for the pull hooks instead, so you don't have to overextend to try to get those hooks. You can just wait for the Orisa to pull. It just depends on other situation, but usually, at least with the Rhine, Orisa, Sigma types of comps, maybe Zarya as well, you want to be the one holding main. Sorry, you want to let them hold main, so that you can go for these off angles and try to get picks. And in this case, like when they go back, this is no longer good. You need to rotate to like get an angle behind the tanks. Your goal is not to go for the tanks, your goal is just to kill everything else. Okay, let's take a 5-minute break and then I'll go into my next one, which should be, I never added it, Perks. Pirx. Perks. Alright, let's take a 5-minute break.